Without further ado, let's go to our review of Deadpool and Wolverine. Like I said, Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoilers ahead. I'm going to be talking in generalities as much as I can, but spoilers will be ahead. Cameos will be spoiled. Everything's going to be talked about as much as I can. Where to begin? Deadpool and Wolverine, to me, is sizzle over steak fan service. Sizzle over steak fan service. It is still extremely fun. Tons of tie-ins to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the past of the Marvel films in general, and projects and creative things for the last 25 years. There is fun bouncing off the walls in this film. However, I would argue it's a lot of sizzle and not a whole lot of steak. I'm going to talk positive first, and then we'll go into a little bit of negatives. And, as much as we possibly can. So it's trying to be balanced. When you look at the final result of Deadpool and Wolverine, to me, your high points are the emotional. If you look at the past of the Deadpool franchise, the high points that force you to really take those movies seriously is the emotional center. In this film, you have two anchor points in Deadpool and Wolverine who are being more vulnerable than they've ever been as characters before on screen, and it works really well. You're seeing a more vulnerable Deadpool who's being forced to make decisions to try to save his world against the dreams that he has of being an Avenger and being uh, one of the big bad superheroes of a world. He's being forced to realize the truth, which is he's a joke. He is not well regarded within the superhero community, and he has to deal with that. And that is an overall quality story to tell and see where we're going. Plus, we mix that with the Wolverine who has failed his world. And Hugh Jackman completely takes this movie for me. Because he brings the necessary balance of the straight man who's pissed off to a Deadpool who can't take anything seriously. But the issues that I have with this film come from the fact that there isn't an emotional center in terms of what are we really fighting for. Now, a lot of people going to the film, my wife included, argued with me afterwards, like, "Oh, well, no, you have all the past history and you have all this, and you know this. That's what they're fighting for." You know what Deadpool's goals are. I'm not saying you don't know his goals. However, you have a real emotional issue in the fact of why is he fighting for this now? For instance, Deadpool 1, why is he fighting? Why is he continually doing what he is doing, even to his own detriment? It's to get back with Vanessa. It is to further his life and be with the person that he loves. That's the real story of Deadpool, center, which is all surrounded by the insanity of the character that we all love and know. Deadpool 2, it's a family movie. He's fighting for the sense of what a family could be in his world. With Russell, with the death of Vanessa, what is his purpose? And he's finding a purpose as a member of a family. With Russell, with Colossus, with Negasonic, with Yukio, all those characters, he has an emotional center to gravitate towards. That's his major goals. Great. What is his emotional center in this film? He's given a mission. Oh, you have to save your world. Okay, cool. And you think that immediately should take care of it, and it just, for me, it lacks that. Doesn't quite have that. But that issue is surrounded by vulnerability in two characters that work really, really well together, with two actors who have incredible chemistry together, which are then further surrounded by a ton of fun. So it's the counterbalance that you have to play with this is I feel this is the weakest of the three Deadpool films, while still knowing there are high points and highlights of this movie that make it a worthwhile watch and are incredibly fun. But right away, you get Deadpool playing with the TVA. He has to go find Wolverines. You get multiple different iterations of Wolverine. All the Wolverines that you've wanted to see. Classic John Byrne fighting the Hulk. Yes, that happens in this movie, technically. Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, who's missing a hand. When he's left for dead on the X. Henry Cavill makes a cameo as Wolverine to play to the secrets of the internet. All of that happens to find a Wolverine, and he finds a Wolverine who's constantly wearing a suit that you've always wanted him to wear, you just don't know why. And then he realizes, oh wait, the TVA that he's working for is a bunch of bullshit because it's not the actual TVA. It's a really interesting dichotomy to find a failing Wolverine who's the hero, and Deadpool hails him as this hero, and the Wolverine that we get in this film is not the Wolverine of our past. We get the Wolverine of failure, who's walked away from Scott and Jean and Storm and Beast and everybody else that's mentioned in this film. He fails them because he refuses to be a part of a team. And he even states that. I was too embarrassed to show that I wanted to be a part of this team. So there's emotionality in both of their characters, and you're seeing Wolverine cutting straight to the bone with insults towards Deadpool. The entire TVA, rogue TVA, read by Mr. Paradox, that are all treating Deadpool as a joke, and that he doesn't matter. And he's put in this place where he doesn't matter, and he has to find his purpose again. And Wolverine just straight up says, "You're a fucking clown. You don't matter." And then he's forced to reckon with that. That's all tremendous stuff. So the pieces are there. I'm just not thinking the entire culmination is there. But it's incredibly, incredibly fun film with fan service cameos everywhere. We see Sabretooth, we see Toad, we see Pyro from the original X-Men series. You can see it in this still frame right away. There's another one of the early mutants from First Class. There's an early Blade from the television series in there. Juggernaut is in there. We go further and we get all kinds of crazy stuff. We see action sequences such as this, where you get a Sabretooth fight afterwards. And you get an appearance from Chris Evans. Yes, Chris Evans, Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm. But it's not exactly the one that we know. He's more of a failure. He's more of a shithead who can't get it done versus a shithead who can get it done, like in the films. We're seeing, eventually we get to see tons and tons of crazy stuff. Such as a Jennifer Garner Elektra. A Wesley Snipes Blade. Yes, you heard that correct. X-23 was already spoiled, that's not a big deal. And then you get a Channing Tatum Gambit off of what the movie that never was, which is Channing Tatum's Gambit. You're getting a ton of fun action sequences and cameos galore that set up so well what Deadpool could be in this world, and how he really should share the same fate as all of those projects that either petered out or never happened. So it's very self-aware. It's just lacking an emotional center for me. But this film cannot be overstated how fun it is. You're getting Dogpool. You're getting Lady Deadpool. You're getting Cowboy Deadpool. You're getting Samurai Deadpool. You're getting so many different iterations of Deadpool in this film. Playing with the multiverse theory that can work for Deadpool. But how does it work in the overall scheme of the MCU? And this is kind of a picture that I think best suits it. Wolverine looking at Deadpool, who is a total badass, by the way. I love the Wolverine we got in this film. But this picture to me states how I best feel about this movie. Forefront and center, oh, I love the fun. I love the inanity. I love the insanity of this film. I love getting to play in that world of fan service to a degree. But then I have that look in my eyes, kind of like Wolverine does here, is this really what's best for us as an audience? And I'm not quite sure yet. It's a movie that I wanted to love, and I ended up saying I like it. I don't know if it's even a top tier MCU film, and a lot of people are going to say, no, 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 it's one of the greatest MCU films of all time. I would probably beg to differ. We're getting so much of what we want to see, so much of what we've always wanted to see. But maybe it's the forbidden fruit coming true that we didn't necessarily know we didn't want in the end sometimes. It's a very self-referential film. It references where the MCU is and calling it out, which is both good and bad because while it's awesome because it fits the character of Deadpool, you're also forced with the reality that even Marvel knows past couple of years haven't been great. Where we get a hit and then we get a miss, or we get a couple hits and then we get a couple misses, and it's just not working exactly what they want in this multiverse saga. So how do we combat that? And in one way, this feels like a crowning achievement. The boys we've always wanted to play with, they're on the team too now. You know, your friend in a different city that you always wanted to move to your city and your town, they're finally getting to play. Deadpool and Wolverine are finally in there. X-23 is back. The X-Men are full-on canon as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. But yet, is this going to equate to a win? And that's something to think about with some further MCU news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con as well. So again, I think this is a really fun film, but it lacks a slight emotional center to why we care so much about this movie versus, to me, this feels like we're trying to fill the grand scheme of things and failing to make the greatest movie we could. We're trying to, hey, let's play catch up and get everybody in and have a lot of fun. We're not making the greatest movie that we could. It's still very fun. It's still very enjoyable. You just need to be prepared for it a little bit. That's how I would argue Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes. Overall, fun film, but it's sizzle over steak fan service. That's the greatest way I can put it right there. However, I can't lie. I love Dog Bull. Love that ugly, ugly dog. It's glorious. But that is our official review here, my official review of Deadpool and Wolverine here on the ONETA Show, which could be, I guess, part of the ONETA movie show. Missed opportunity, if you will, but not a big deal. And if you want to go check that out, you should go check that out on Saturdays. Frankly, there's so much stuff that you guys can go check out. You should go do that as soon as you possibly can after this episode. Such as Mondays, you can get new Pokemon card pack openings. The new set coming out is really cool. Could be fun. Already have one up of the new set. It's really fun. Tuesday, you're already here. You already know it. You already love it. It's the ONETA flagship show. It's the ONETA Show. Rotating topics. A lot of fun. Wednesday, it's the Fakemon videos. You're getting part of the Pokemon Bliss and Oblivion project, entering the Halzari region, which is so much fun to unveil that artwork and these new Pokemon to you. Thursday, it's the ONETA Football Show, and the brand spanking new expansion series is starting. We're starting the NFL expansion project, showing how could the NFL expand internationally, how could it grow even bigger than it already is. That's going to be a lot of fun starting that show this Thursday on the ONETA Football Show. Then Friday, you get a bunch of really cool rotating shows. You get the ONETA Adventure Show. You get the ONETA Brick Builders Show. The Adventure Show, we're going all kinds of travel, all kinds of places to go. Last episode was about the Grand Canyon. New one coming out soon is going to be about Bryce Canyon out in Utah. A lot of fun there. It's one of my most underrated and favorite parks there are. The ONETA Brick Builders Show, we're going over a bunch of Lego builds, having a lot of fun with that. Pokemon pack openings could be there. Yu-Gi-Oh card pack openings could be there. Even a little bit of Lorcana could be in there. And a bunch of fun specialty projects are all coming your way on Fridays. And like I said, as a part of everything, you can go see the ONETA movie show which is available every Saturday now. And this coming Saturday, August 3rd, that is correct. August 3rd, we are continuing our big box office series, and we're talking all about the cinematic masterpiece that is 1982's E.T. So it's a lot of fun to go back in yesteryear. But if you want more content from us and you're enjoying what you're seeing, go check out all of these great shows and these pieces of content at PTE Creative. You can find that all on YouTube. Podcasts are on Spotify. You can go see stuff on our socials on Instagram and TikTok. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, and help us out.